my take on the Ilya Kharun 200-yard butterfly time of 1 minute and 38.64 seconds from 9 March 2024. I'm filming this Thursday, 28 March 2024, so a few days later. Less than 3 weeks later. It was a Saturday, 9 March 2024, and I was there in person for it, and I am Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. I'm going to talk through the Ilya Kharun of Arizona State University Sun Devils 200-yard butterfly race at the 2024 Men's Pac-12 Conference Swimming Championships in Federal Way, Washington State, United States of America. Time of 1 minute and 38.64 seconds in the final on Saturday, 9 March 2024. With his time, he achieved first place. I provide my take/perspective on his performance and contextualize it in terms of being there in person for the performance. So he was speedy. Let's see, when I was filming this particular heat, so I filmed one of the Chmielewski brothers, the Polish brothers. I went with Michael instead of Krzysztof, which is, in the 200 fly, that namespace is very common in world record holders. The Michael and Krzysztof. So if I had wanted to go for diversity, I could have gone and filmed Ilya Kharun, but I did not. And so he was speedy. It was a fast time. He won. I was filming the Chmielewski brother, Michael. It was at the University of Southern California and Trojans. And I was, where I was sitting, I chose the right seat. If I'd chosen one seat lower, I would have been filming and hit, there was a bar on the railing. So I was like, I had initially sat down in the first row, and then I was like, but this bar might get in the way. So I ended up in the second row, and I was just high enough, in zoomed in mode, and following the swimmer, it was just above the top of the bar. So I definitely chose the right row compared to first row or second row. Second row was the better for filming. And then if somebody in front of me stood up or something, then I would stand up. And so in filming, I did watch Ilya Kharun in this one, but it was mostly trying to cut Ilya Kharun out of the video to get this other guy, because everybody's going to zoom in on him if I get him in the video, so I was just trying to deliberately not get him. And he was speedy, and he finished fast, Kharun. And then I didn't cheer for him at the end of the race, and he got so pissed off, he did bunny ears in reference to the Cadbury egg I had purchased earlier that morning and then ate the next day. He was like, you're going to eat that at home, so bunny ears for you eating that at home, that Cadbury egg, because I can predict you. And so predict me he did, and he even predicted me eating it before I posted the video I took of that same heat. So yes, I can be predicted. I think I've said that before. I'm pretty predictable. That's part of being boring and being consistent. There's a lot of things that it's pretty easy to predict about me. Tanis Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. A lot of people tend to confuse wants with just maybe they want to see something, and then they're a very different person from me, so they might get things very wrong. Their wants don't match mine, so then and I might not be fueled by wants, kind of thing. So yeah. So not everybody predicts me right? So that's the funny thing about doing things over and over and over again. While it is predictable, does not necessarily mean everybody predicts it, but Ilya Kharun is one that has predicted me. And yes, and so for the, everybody's like, put your pom-pom up and cheer for him. And I was like, I'm not cheering for him. And then he paid me back. He was like, all right, then I'm doing bunny ears and I'm predicting you with that Cadbury cream egg. And he did. And then I think it was this one where they decommissioned the interviews for the night. And then they didn't do the relay either. And I think the interview, right after the race, I think it was because it was the last day of the championships, and so instead instead of the last two interviews, they did, or at least the relay interview, and possibly this one, they had a swimmer of the meet award and then team of the meet award. So they did those instead. So it's not like they dropped it and all of a sudden, like, there's nothing. No, there were other things that they had to do. And there's a finite amount of workers and volunteers and stuff like that. So they were pressed for time and getting it done in a timely manner. So yeah. So that is my take on the Ilya Kharun 200-yard butterfly. 1 minute 38.64 seconds from 9 March 2024. He's a hunky on the beefy end of hunky man. At least for this competition, he was. And he had a hairstyle similar to this is my, inch long or something like that, from my buzz cut hairstyle. His haircut was more similar to my buzz cut hairstyle, though it was grown out a little. Kind of, maybe. Anyway, there we go. Happy day and time of viewing to you whenever you're viewing this, and happy place of viewing wherever you're viewing this from.